All right, hello and welcome to solving for an unknown force when there's multiple forces acting on an object. All right, let's say we have an object in space. That object is a simple box. All right, and this box has multiple forces acting on it. We'll say it has one force to the right. We'll call it FA. And we'll say it has a force to the left. We'll call this force FB. Let's say the thing we're looking for in this problem is, let's say, FB. Let's say we don't know FB. It's unknown. Right, there's two forces. One of them is known. One of them is not known. Well, in order to find FB, we obviously need to know FA. Let's say FA is 100 newtons. Now, if that's all we know is 100 newtons, we obviously cannot find FB. So what we need to know is we need to know the net force on the object. We need to know what FB and FA, when you add them together, we need to know what the sum is. Now, I could give you directly the net force, but let's say you only know the mass of the object is 50 kilograms. Now let's say the acceleration is -3 meters per second squared. All right, how would we find FB? All right, so in a problem like this, first thing you want to do is you want to set up your net force equation. All right, and to do this, you do this the same way you do every problem. You say the net force is equal to the sum of all forces. Now we know the sum of all forces is going to equal FA plus FB, our net force. All right, well, the net force is given by mass times acceleration. So we have mass times acceleration is equal to FA plus FB. All right, so already we've seen we're done with the problem. Everything that is unknown is in red here. Everything is known is in green. We already know what's known. We could symbolically solve for FB, but let's first just individually solve for each term just so that we know what each thing actually equals. So mass times acceleration, that's going to represent our net force. And so when we actually plug in our values there, we have a mass of 50 kilograms times an acceleration of -3 meters per second squared equals FA, which we know is 100 newtons positive, plus an unknown FB. So when we actually do our calculations here, we have -150 newtons is our net force equals 100 newtons plus an unknown FB. All right, you can already see that 100 newtons plus what equals 150 newtons to the left negative. It's pretty obvious to see that your answer is going to be -250. Right? You bring the 100 to the other side and subtract it, and you get FB is equal to -250 newtons. And that is your final answer. So that means FA is pulling with 100 newtons. FB is pulling with 250 newtons. Obviously, if FB is bigger, it's going to move to the left, and the net force is going to be 250 minus 100. It's going to be 150 newtons to the left is the net force. It's the sum of all the forces. So there we go. That's how you solve for one unknown force if you know the net force and one known force.